Crosby recorded his 1,700th career point on October 27, 2025, with a goal and 2 assists in Pittsburgh's 6-3 victory over the St. Louis Blues at PPG Paints Arena. The 38-year-old captain became just the 9th player in NHL history to reach this milestone, accomplishing the feat in his 1,362nd game, the 4th fastest to 1,700 points behind only Wayne Gretzky, 711 games, Mario Lemieux, 887 games, and Marcel Dionne, 1,257 games. Crosby entered Monday night's game sitting at 1,698 career points. He recorded his first point by setting up Parker Wotherspoon's goal on a delayed penalty at 6:37 of the second period. Then, just 42 seconds into the third period, he hit the magic number with a secondary assist on Bryan Rust's second goal of the night. But Sid wasn't done. At 16:39 of the third period, Crosby iced the game with a breakaway goal off a pass from Rust to make it 5-3, sealing Pittsburgh's 5th win in 6 games. The Penguins captain demonstrated exactly why he's still elite in his 21st season: playmaking brilliance and clutch finishing when it matters most. Bryan Rust, who scored the milestone-setting goal, perfectly captured the significance. 1,700 points is incredible. To be part of I don't know how many of Crosby's points, obviously not all of them, but to be part of some of them has been really cool. And to get the goal on 1,700 is really cool and something I'm going to remember. This performance also gave Crosby his 498th multi-point game, passing Mario Lemieux for the Penguins team record and moving him into 6th place in NHL history on the all-time multi-point list. Crosby now joins Wayne Gretzky, 2,857 points, Jaromir Jagr, 1,921, Mark Messier, 1,887, Gordie Howe, 1,850, Ron Francis, 1,798, Marcel Dionne, 1,771, Steve Yzerman, 1,755, and Mario Lemieux, 1,723, as the only players in NHL history with 1,700 career points. He's also the only active player to reach this threshold, and the 4th player ever to achieve it while staying with one franchise throughout his entire career. When asked about joining these legends, Crosby's humility shone through in his post-game interview. Joining that company, those are players that I grew up idolizing and didn't ever think that I'd be with them or near them. So yeah, it's something I'm grateful for, that I've been able to play this long and be part of that group.
Joining that company, those are players that I grew up, idolizing and didn't ever think that I'd be, with them or near them. So, it's something I'm grateful for, that I've been able to play this long and be part of that group.
What separates Crosby's achievement is the efficiency. Reaching 1,700 points in 1,362 games places him among the fastest ever to hit this mark. Only 3 players, the great one, Super Mario, and Dionne, got there quicker. That's the kind of sustained excellence that defines all-time greatness. Perhaps the most revealing moment of the evening came during the post-game press conference. While fans celebrated and reporters asked about the milestone, Crosby immediately redirected attention to what truly mattered. An adult male fan had fallen from the upper concourse to the lower bowl during the game, and the captain's response showed why Pittsburgh has cherished him for 2 decades. "I just want to say we just found out that someone fell tonight, so it doesn't feel right to be talking about points when you hear something like that," Crosby stated. "We just found out, so obviously our thoughts and prayers are with that person and their family and hoping that they're okay. So yeah, like I said, it feels kind of weird talking about hockey when something like that happens."
I just want to say we just found out that someone fell tonight, so feels doesn't feel right to be talking about points when we hear something like that. So we just found out, so obviously our thoughts and prayers are with that person and their family, and hopefully that they're okay. So yeah, like I said, it feels kind of weird talking about hockey and something like that. I'm happy to find that out. But
Only after addressing the fans' safety did he acknowledge the standing ovation from the PPG Paints Arena crowd. The reception's always been great. I've been fortunate since the day I got here, arriving at the airport. From then on, it's been incredible, and yeah, I always appreciate that.
yeah, I think the reception's always been great. I've been fortunate since the day I got here, arriving at the airport. From then on, it's been incredible, and yeah, I always appreciate that.
This moment encapsulates who Sidney Crosby is, a generational talent whose character matches his skill. Crosby now sits just 23 points behind Mario Lemieux, 1,723, for the most points in Penguins franchise history. He already owns the franchise records for games played, 1,362, and assists, 1,069, but trails Lemieux by 59 goals. At his current pace, surpassing Super Mario's total is not only possible, it's probable. This season, under new head coach Dan Muse, Pittsburgh has exploded out of the gate. The Penguins started 7-2-1 and haven't lost in regulation since October 14th against Anaheim. Crosby's personal statistics reflect this team's success: 7 goals and 7 assists through the first 10 games. His line mate Evgeny Malkin is also thriving, currently tied for the NHL lead with 16 points. When asked about Gino's hot start, Crosby praised his longtime teammate. "It's awesome. He's finding different ways, whether it's putting the puck in there or setting guys up. I think he just looks confident, and it's fun to see him going like that."
Yeah, it's awesome. He's finding different ways, whether it's putting the puck in there or setting guys up. But, I think he looks like he's confident, and, you've seen a couple plays that didn't end up going in. But
Sidney Crosby's 1,700th point represents more than just another statistical milestone. It's confirmation that one of hockey's greatest players continues performing at an elite level deep into his late 30s. He's the only active player with 1,700 points, the 4th fastest to reach the mark in NHL history, and on track to become the Penguins' all-time leading scorer. But beyond the numbers, this night showcased what makes Crosby special: humility when discussing personal achievements, genuine concern for others' well-being, and unwavering dedication to his team and city. From his first day in Pittsburgh to his 1,362nd NHL game, Sidney Crosby has represented excellence both on and off the ice.